Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Podcast. And in today's episode, I got a lot of things I want to get into. So I want to welcome you guys. If this is your first time, hearing us on the Dreamerspro Podcast. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about some pretty interesting things. First of all, we're going to be talking about who should make all-first NBA team. We're going to be talking about who the MVP should be this season, who should make the all-first defensive team, and who should be the defensive player of the year. Now, if you guys haven't seen the podcast before, I usually like to take my time when I go through the podcast. I don't like to rush myself. And the reason I like to do these type of, we like to do these type of videos is because it allows me to cover a lot of ground. If you guys don't know, doing the conversation each video probably takes about 10 plus hours to put together, edit, do all of these different things to prepare for you guys. So if Marco and I were to produce all of these different topics, it will take us probably a month to go through all of them individually. So the podcast is the best format. And number two, I feel like it allows us, to interact with you guys, because your interaction is what makes the channel what it is. I really enjoy, responding to comments, hearing what you guys think. I really do. I think you guys give a lot of great feedback, and I think the people that leave comments and really engage in the community are really what are the thing that's making the channel what it is. So we really appreciate that, the engagement in the comments. And a lot of it has been encouraging. Some of it has allowed us to think and get better. And I think is what pushes us as a channel. So we appreciate that greatly for you guys to continue to join us on this journey as we try to grow this channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs as soon as possible. So make sure you go ahead and do that. There's a fly flying around that's trying to piss me off, but it's not going to stop me from getting to this content. So let's get straight into it. So, okay, we know that the season is coming to an end. And usually at the end of the season, we give our regular season awards for different categories. And it had me thinking. I wanted to talk about some certain, teams, all first teams, MVP and all of that. But I wanted to break it down. Now, obviously, I can go second team, third team for all NBA team. I can go second team, all defensive team and all of that. But this video will be too damn long. I'll probably be talking for about like half an hour, and I'm sure you guys don't want to look at my face for that long and listen to me talk for that long. But again, if you're listening to this on the on Spotify or iTunes, you can just listen to it while you drive or do something else. So anyway, let's start off with the NBA all-first team. So who should make all-first NBA team? Now, first of all, there's a caveat in this list that I'm going to just say, but I'm going to give you my list, and then you guys let me know what you think. So, at the point guard position, I think for the all-first NBA team, I think it should be James Harden. Now, James Harden, if you go and look at his stats, or if you go and look at his position, James Harden is listed as a guard, okay? He's listed as a guard, but he runs the offense for the Houston Rockets, and he averages more assists than, let's say, the prototypical point guard on their team in Russell Westbrook. He's averaging 7.4 assists to Russell Westbrook's 7 assists per game. So I think James Harden is the point guard of that team. So let's look at James Harden's numbers this year. James Harden is averaging 34.4 points a game, which is just insane. He's shooting 43.5% from the field. He's shooting 35.2% from the three-point line. He attempts 12.6 three-pointers, but he makes 4.4. Now, let me just say, 12.6 is a lot. And I'll just say this, it makes James Harden's game a little bit predictable, because we all know what most of the time, 50% of the time, we know what he's going to do, because he's attempting 22 shots a game. Just over 50% of his shots are coming from the three, so just around. So defenders can really plan for him. But anyway, those are his numbers from the three-point line. He's getting you 86.1% from the free throw line. He's getting you 6.4 rebounds, which is really good, 7.4 assists, 1.7 steals, and funny enough, he's actually getting you 0.9 blocks. So he's actually almost getting you 1 block a game. Now, we all saw the highlights out there, or the low lights, as Skip Bayless likes to say, of James Harden in the past being blown by offensive players because of his defense, his lackluster defense. He always seems like he has his feet stuck in a block of cement or something. But James Harden has improved himself as a defensive player. So if we're going to consider him to be the point guard or the point guard of his team, then I have him at the point guard position. Now, what's my caveat? If we can't keep James Harden at the point guard spot, then I think Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors should be on the all-first NBA team. Now, Kyle Lowry is averaging 19.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 7.7 assists, okay? He's playing 36 minutes a game. He's played 52 of the available 62 games. He's shooting 42% from the field, 35% from the three, 86% from the free throw line. He's getting you 1.3 steals a game. Now, some of you guys, why would you have Mike Lowry up on there? I mean, Mike Lowry, yo. Why would you have Kyle Lowry up there on the list? Blah, 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 blah. Well, the Toronto Raptors are the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference with a 46-18 record. So I don't think that should be overlooked. Remember, these guys are just coming off of a championship win. They just won in the championship. And they lost, the finals MVP to another team. And a lot of people thought that, they didn't think they were going to fall out of the Eastern Conference playoff picture. But I don't think any of us saw that the Toronto Raptors were actually going to be the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference behind the Milwaukee Bucks. And they have done an amazing job. So Kyle Lowry is a champion. He's coming off of a championship. He's playing with a lot of confidence. And something has to be said for the fact that the Toronto Raptors are the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. So he's not doing it alone. He has other players like Pascal Siakam, Serge Ibaka, Fred VanVleet, and others. But the fact that his team is that high up in the Eastern Conference playoff picture, I think says a lot about Kyle Lowry. So if we can't have James Harden on the list, I would definitely have Kyle Lowry instead of James Harden because the Houston Rockets are the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. So that's who I would have. Now, let's move over to the shooting guard position. In the shooting guard position, I'm actually moving Kawhi Leonard up to the shooting guard position because I have somebody else playing at the small forward. So I'm going to put Kawhi Leonard in the shooting guard position and say that he should be on the all-first NBA team because Kawhi Leonard, he's averaging 27 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's shooting 47% from the field, 36.6% from the three-point line, 89% from the free throw line. He's getting you 1.8 steals a game. And, I think he's probably the best player in the Western Conference, in my opinion. So I definitely have Kawhi Leonard at the number 2 spot on the All-NBA team. Now, the NBA may have something else. They may say, no, he has to be the small forward. But for me, that's what I have. At the small forward position is going to surprise a lot of these clowns in the comment section. But I actually got LeBron James as starting on the all-first NBA team as a small forward. Why? Number one, the Lakers have the best record in the Western Conference. That's number one, and something has to be said for the fact that they have the number 1 record. Number 2, let's look at LeBron James's numbers in season 16. Okay, he's playing 35 minutes a game. He's played 60 of the available 62 games that they had this season. He's shooting 49.8%, so he's shooting 50% from the field. 35% from the three-point line, which is actually, 1 percentage point higher than what he shot last season. He's shooting 70% from the free throw line. He's getting you 10.6 assists a game, leading the league in assists, 8 rebounds a game, 1.2 steals, and 0.5 blocks. That's phenomenal, okay? Regardless of what some of you people may think, LeBron James, in my opinion, is one of the top 10 greatest players of all time, but these numbers are phenomenal. At the advanced stage in his career, at the age of 35 years old, for this guy to be putting up these type of numbers, it just shows the amount of dedication that he has to his sport, his physical fitness, to make sure that he's in shape. It's not easy to do that at a high level for this long. So I have LeBron James as my small forward on the all-first NBA team because how could you leave him off? Look at these numbers and look at the success of his team. And I think he's a driving force of that Lakers offense. And he's certainly the most decorated player in that team as far as the leader. So I have LeBron James as my small forward for the all-first NBA team. So I got James Harden or Kyle Lowry, depending on what they say. Kawhi Leonard at my 2. LeBron James at the 3. Now let's talk about the 4 position. At the 4 spot, I got my man Giannis Antetokounmpo, okay? I got him in my power forward position. He's 6'11", so he can play power forward. He's 242 pounds, so he could do that. But let's look at Giannis's beast mode numbers this season. Okay, Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 29.6 points a game, 13.7 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. He's played 57 of the available 62 games because I think he was injured right before the season ended. He's shooting 55% from the field, which is insane, 30% from the three, 63% from the free throw line. As I said, he's getting you 13.7 rebounds, 5.8 assists, a steal a game, and 1 block per game. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I don't think I have to say anything else about Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Giannis definitely should make the All-First NBA team. And finally, to finish off my All-First NBA team, I got, which is surprise some of the clowns again in the comment section, I'm going to say that Anthony Davis should be the center, and he should be the fifth spot, the center on the All-First NBA team. I think he should make the All-First NBA team. Number one, he's leading the Lakers in scoring with 26.7 points a game, and I believe also leading them in rebounding with 9.4 rebounds a game, getting you 3.1 assists. He's shooting 51% from the field, 33.5% from the three-point line, 85% from the free throw line, which is pretty impressive. And he's also getting you 1.5 steals a game and 2.4 blocks. I mean, just listen to these numbers. So for me, I definitely have Anthony Davis as he's going to be my center on my all-first NBA team. And I think I got it right. I think I like my team a lot. So this is the team that I have for the all-first NBA team. Now, obviously, you guys are going to have some disagreements with me. So whatever you guys think about the all-first NBA team, let me know who you think I should take off the list, add on the list, whatever you guys think. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Now, let's move on to the all-first defensive team. For me, it's very, very simple. Excuse the noise outside. These are some kids making noise outside, and I can't go out there and yell at the kids because they're not my kids. So, as a power forward, the point guard position, I got Patrick Beverley, man. Now, granted, Patrick Beverley has only played 48 games this season, but we all know that Patrick Beverley is the best point guard defender in the NBA. We all know that, and there's a reason that he's the starting point guard for the Clippers over probably Lou Williams. Now, he's only averaging 7.9 rebounds, 5.4 assists, and 3.7 assists, but he's shooting 43% from the field. He's shooting 38% from the three-point line, so he's a knockdown three-point shooter, spot-up three-point shooter. He's shooting 66% from the free throw line. He's getting you 1.1 steals a game and 0.5 blocks. Think about that for a guy that's 6'1". But it's not just because of his numbers. It's also for his energy, his defensive tenacity, and the intangibles that he brings to the game. The fact that how he can affect other players on his team, especially when he's playing defense at a high level, it raises the competitive fervor of his teammates, which is something that the stat sheet does not pick up. His competitiveness and his willingness to go at anybody pretty much is what also, makes him stand out. And I have him on my all-first NBA team. And in the marquee game on Christmas Day when the Clippers were playing against the Lakers, who was on LeBron James at the end of the game and knocked the ball out of his hand? It was Patrick Beverley. So for me, Patrick Beverley is going to be my starting point guard for defensive, for the all-first defensive team. Now, at my 2 spot, I got Jimmy Butler. Okay, we all know Jimmy Butler, one of the grittiest, toughest players in the NBA. As he said, I ain't afraid of nobody, and he says, I'm tough. And Jimmy Butler's tough. Let me just go ahead and say that he's a tough guy. If you look at his story, if you look at his background, what he had to go through just to make it into the NBA, he had a pretty tough road to get there. And usually when people go through tough times, it really makes them tough. So Jimmy Butler is a really tough guy. He's averaging 20.2 points a game, 6.6 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. Now, he's not a great three-point shooter, but remember, we're talking about defense. He's, in my opinion, the top, the number 3 best two-way player in the NBA, right behind Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Right after Paul George, I have Jimmy Butler. Now, he's 6'7", so he's a big dude, but, if we're looking about his defensive tenacity and the way he plays defense, Jimmy Butler got to be up there, and he's the heart and soul of the Miami Heat, and he plays with a lot of force. He plays with a lot of tenacity. So for me, I got him up there. He's getting you 1.7 steals a game to go with his numbers and 0.5 in blocks. So Jimmy Butler definitely makes it to my all-first defensive team. At the small forward position, I got my man Kawhi Leonard, who I contended he's the best defensive player, at least defensive wing in all of the NBA. You don't have to go any further than look at how he was able to perform against Giannis Antetokounmpo last season in the playoffs. Now, let me say, he didn't neutralize Giannis because Giannis Antetokounmpo cannot be neutralized, but I think Giannis shot like 28% or 30% from the field when he was guarded by Kawhi Leonard. And I don't think there's anyone in the NBA could have done a better job on Giannis Antetokounmpo than Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. So Kawhi Leonard is definitely on my all-first defensive team in the NBA. So he's definitely there. I don't have to go too far to talk about his numbers. 27 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.8 steals, and 0.6 blocks a game. So Kawhi Leonard is at my small forward position. Now, power forward, I got my man Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the most physically imposing NBA player today. He's like a baby Shaq, okay? Shaq was 7'1", 340 pounds. Giannis is 6'11". He weighs 242 pounds, but he plays like Shaq pretty much, man. Giannis plays through contact. He searches for contact. If you don't believe me, go watch some highlights of Giannis going against the Philadelphia 76ers against a really elite defender in Ben Simmons. And look at what Giannis, he pretty much ragdolls him, or he ragdolls pretty much anybody that he plays against in the NBA. So then you got to look at his defense. Giannis has the length. He comes out of nowhere when he's blocking shots. He blocks shots from everywhere in the court. And for example, that's the reason why he's getting you 1 block a game and 1 steal a game. But you can also, the stat sheet doesn't also take into account all of the shots that he's deterred, stop people from driving into the paint because they know he's such a defensive presence. And those are some of the things the stats don't pick up. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, for me, is probably one of the best defenders in all the NBA. So for me, he definitely makes my all-first defensive team. And finally, at my 5th spot, I got Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has to be on the all-first defensive team because, look at his numbers, man. The guy's getting you 27 points a game, 9.4 rebounds, 3.1 assists, but 2.4 blocks and 1.5 steals. So Anthony Davis is definitely on my all-first defensive team. So if you guys agree with my list, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If there's anybody you think that doesn't deserve to be on the list or should be, that I left off, whatever you guys think, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, we've addressed the all-first NBA team and the all-defensive team. Now we got to talk about the MVP of the league. And for me, I think the MVP is an easy one. It's a no-brainer. I think the MVP got to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. In my opinion, Giannis Antetokounmpo has to be the MVP. First of all, the Milwaukee Bucks have the #1 record in the entire NBA, okay? Giannis Antetokounmpo has a big part to do with that. That's number one. Number two, if you look at his running mate, okay, who is Giannis Antetokounmpo's running mate? Okay, he's playing with another all-star in Chris Middleton, okay? Chris Middleton is averaging 21.1 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. He shoots 42% from the three, which is really, really good. He's shooting 49.9% from the field, which is really, really efficient. But if we look at the other person who we're thinking, or some people are thinking of making the regular season MVP in LeBron James, let's look at LeBron James's running mate. LeBron James's running mate leads his team in points and rebounds and blocks in Anthony Davis. He scores more than LeBron, rebounds more than LeBron, and gets more blocks than LeBron, and probably gets more steals than LeBron. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is not playing with that type of all-star with him. And all all-stars are not created equally. So for me, LeBron has more talent on his team. Giannis has less talent. But Giannis's team is also, I think, the #1 team in scoring, the #1 team in rebounding in the NBA. So Giannis has a lot to do with that, and he is the heart and soul of that team. So for me, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the regular season MVP this season, and I don't really think there's a really great argument out there to make somebody else the MVP over Giannis Antetokounmpo. So for me, I have him as the regular season MVP. But maybe some of you guys think differently. If you think it's LeBron or somebody else, let me know what you think in the comment section. And finally, we got to talk about the Defensive Player of the Year. For me, I think it was close. I think it was either between Giannis or Anthony Davis. But for me, I'm going to go with Anthony Davis as the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, it's fair to say that before the season started, Anthony Davis came out and said that he wanted to be the Defensive Player of the Year. He said it. He made it known. But a lot of people can talk. I mean, I've heard a lot of people become millionaires just using their lips. Anybody can become a millionaire just saying it. But actually going out there and doing the work and backing up your prediction is another thing. But Anthony Davis has done that. First of all, as I said before, man, the guy's played 55 of all the available 62 games. But look at his numbers, man. He's also shooting 51% from the field. But the guy is getting you 2.4 blocks and 1.5 steals a game, man, to go along with his 9.4 rebounds. And you have to look at his ability to guard the pick and roll, guard defenders one-on-one, his lateral quickness, his ability to block shots, his ability to recover on plays, and just pretty much be a defensive, dynamo on the court. So for me, Anthony Davis is the heart and soul of their defense, right? And the other player that a lot of people discount is Dwight Howard, but Anthony Davis is the starter for the Lakers, man. And I don't think they're as good as they are without Anthony Davis. But for me, he has definitely been the Defensive Player of the Year. If you look at his numbers, man, very few people can argue with that. The fact that you're getting 1.5 steals, but also 2.4 blocks, and not counting all of the other shots that he's, deterred. For me, Anthony Davis is the Defensive Player of the Year, and that's what I'm going with. So that's pretty much our list here at Dreamers Pro. This is our first team, all NBA team, all defensive first team, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP. This is our list, is what we think. So what I want to know from you guys, again, is what you guys think about this entire list that we put together. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you go ahead and do that. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.